Okay, let's see. I think we are live. All right, sweet. So tonight, we are only going to be streaming on YouTube. Not gonna do Twitch. Not gonna mess around with Facebook. Today is only going to be a YouTube stream. Probably not too long. I'm starting a little bit later tonight. And, a lot of stuff happens in life. And one of the things that I realized uh, last week when I was streaming was really that this kind of this endeavor of streaming, um, and, to be candid, just making videos and content and music and everything is so saturated in 2026. And I have a feeling that it's only going to be more saturated as time goes on. And maybe at some point it'll implode, but probably not. And I realized the other week that, streaming on Twitch, for example, was currently right now. Um, I mean, I guess I could even make the argument for streaming on YouTube too, but it's very difficult in that it's hard to get people to even see what you're putting out there because the applications, YouTube, Twitch, all of these applications are algorithm based, right? So whoever is doing well already will be at the top of the leaderboard, and generally speaking, um, oh, hold on, I think okay, I think I was muted the whole time. Um, Great. Okay, so let me restart that because I'm pretty sure I was literally muted the entire time. So hope everybody's doing well. If you're tuning into this live or you tune into it at any point in time, I do want to thank you for listening in. Maybe maybe people will at some point in time. I was just muted for the first 2 minutes of the stream. That's pretty standard practice for me. But let me do something else. Um, Actually, I think I was hearing myself twice. Whatever. Um, but what I was saying earlier in the stream when I was muted was basically that I kind of had an epiphany while I was streaming last week. And what I did was I went into Twitch, for example, as like kind of like a new user, right? And I wanted to determine how would someone ever find their way to Noah's stream, right? Or anybody's stream for that matter. How would someone find their way there? And I don't want to say it's hopeless because it's technically not. However, the amount of streams that someone would have to kind of sift through in order to find yours specifically is I don't even know how to describe that. Difficult. In that when you're a new user to YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is, you're going to go to where there's a lot of fish, right? So if you see a stream going on that's got 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people, you might go there, right? Or you've already established a an individual, a channel that you like, right? So you're not going to move from that family to a different one, right? You're going to be, you're going to tune into that same stream over and over again, which makes sense, right? But as far as my streaming goes, I was at a difficult place because I'm sitting here thinking, well, there are 12,000 other people streaming, just chatting right now. 12,000. And in order to get to my stream, you have to sift through 11,000 uh 950, you know, because the vast majority of the people watching those streams are kind of housed in about 200 to 250 of those streamers, which is crazy to me. Over half, I would say. I don't know, maybe not the majority, but at least half are saturated in 250 streams when there's 12,000 people streaming. It's good. Um, so I had to rethink my strategy a little bit, and I'm gonna keep streaming because I think it's honestly it's kind of fun. If I'm being completely candid, uh, I do wish there were people to kind of shoot the shit with. Occasionally, some people I know will join in, and that's always a really good time. Um, but it is different. Also, you can only get monetized at a certain point, right? So until then, I'm basically giving YouTube free content. But on the flip side, I'm also taking storage on their memory. So maybe it's an even trade. Which actually, like, so the name of this stream, maybe we'll just get right into it. The name of this stream, and like I said, I don't know how long it's gonna go on for. We're gonna see. But the name of this stream, the name of the game tonight is how can we make the United States, and by extension the world, but mainly we're gonna focus on the United States in this stream, a better place. What can we do? What kind of things can we implement to make life here safer, more enjoyable, more fulfilling for the citizens of the United States? And these are very spitball on the wall type of opinions. And frankly, I don't even have any notes. Um, I'm just I'm just trying to I'm just sharing my opinions to the world, And maybe somewhere someone will hear one of the ideas, and maybe it'll come into fruition at some point in time. And I mean, I think we do need to acknowledge, I think that, you know, and I part of being like an adult, like a responsible adult in the United States, is acknowledging that we do have it pretty nice here when you compare it globally, right? Like that is true. That is true. I've done a decent amount of traveling across the world. Not a crazy amount. I'm not like a just I've 35 countries type of person, whatever. Like that's not me yet, at least. Um, but I have a little bit of knowledge, on what life might be like in other countries, and what life is like in other countries, because I have lived and grown up um, in another country other than the United States as well. But that's important to note, right? So as much as we bitch here in the United States, we do like it's a difficult position, because on one hand we have some things that are really fucking sweet, right? In the United States, we have access to all, almost every type of food, I would say. Almost every type of food. Every food that you want in your life, we have access to via mar- uh, international markets, right? So I live in Austin right now, and there are there's a Korean store. By extension, it's like an Asian store in general, right? So you get Japanese foods, Chinese foods, Korean foods, mainly Chinese or mainly Korean and Japanese, which are my favorite. Um, we have like Ethiopian stores, we have Brazilian stores, we have I mean, I want to say Mexican, but that you can find Mexican food all over the US, but like there's very Mexican uh vendors, right? Like stores here. Um a lot of stuff. Just a huge diversity. And to be honest, in somewhere like California, that might even be larger just because of the location that California is situated on, being right by the Pacific and stuff like that. But we have a lot, right? That's the first thing we have is we have access to a bunch of different kinds of foods. We have access to entertainment, right? We've got IMAX theaters, we've got just regular theaters all over. We have amusement parks all over the fucking place. Um, indoor water parks, outdoor water parks. Technology, right? We're very much a technology based country, right? I mean, the, there's an argument to say that the manufacturing of the technology largely happens overseas, and I think that's fair. But what my point is you can get your hands on almost whatever you want, almost. And not only can you get your hands on items, motherboards, GPUs, circuit boards, welding equipment, power tools, like we can get our hands on stuff, but we can get our hands on things very quickly. If I order something from Amazon, a very nuanced, like, honestly, anything at this point in 2026, you can almost get anything. There's very weird things that I've had to get for, different things that I've built that have taken 5 days to get here. But my point is that we can get almost whatever we want and we can get it very, very quickly versus in some countries, right? They may have Amazon, but their options are like 10%, sub 10% of what we have here in the United States. We just have boats of shit coming in from all over the place, and it's basically on a shelf until someone's ready to buy it. So that's another thing that we have pretty sweet here in the United States, and I think this is fair to talk about a lot of the good things that we have here as well, because if you just focus on the negative things, it'll put you in a bad mood. So I want to focus on the positive things that the United States offers as well. Um, Generally speaking, even though there is a lot of drama about this, in the world at this point, um, opportunity for work. You know, I don't know where the future of this is going. I wish it. From my knowledge, I do wish it was going in a different direction. But generally speaking, you can find a job. If you are, able, then you have the ability to think and move things around and use a computer generally, you can find a job and you can get paid. And there is a fair argument here that the pay isn't enough to support families, and I wholeheartedly like agree with that. Uh Not every, not 80, 70, 60% of jobs out there are six-figure plus jobs, right? The vast majority of jobs, I want to say, I'm this is what's fun is that when you're streaming, you can make shit up, and no one there might not sorry, like, just I didn't know what I was trying to say. There might not be a person that can fact check you in the moment, right? So I want to say that less than 70 or 60% of jobs in the United States are six-figure plus jobs. To be honest with you, I want to even go lower than that. I want to even go at like 40%. No more than 40% of total jobs in the United States pay over six figures, over $100,000 a year. I don't know if that's true. Um, but which there are two sides to this, right? There's one side where globally that's still really good technically, right? Because if you take that money, if you take our USD and you would go to Japan, China, India, or, all of these places, all of these, Russia, wherever, your dollars are going to go really, really far. Although it might not seem like that in the United States right now, which is valid. To be honest, I feel kind of the same way. In other countries, the dollar is still king, and it probably will be for some time, unless That's a whole nother video, right? If things transpire here in the United States, where we would lose the status of a global reserve currency and other countries would want another form of currency, which is possible technically. But I just don't know if, the administration would let that happen. I think there might be, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to get into that. But my point is, there's two sides to income in the United States. And maybe this is a good segue into actually talking about what we can do to fix certain things in the United States. Hypothetically, if you're making $50,000 a year and you don't have rent, you live at home, you don't have a significant other, you don't have a family, you don't want a family, you have a car that's paid off, that's from, 15 years ago, that $50,000 can actually go a really far way, right? You can invest it, you can save it, and you could potentially, retire early, right, with a $50,000 salary in the United States, as long as you don't have any expenses. And we all know, all of us here likely, if there is anybody in here, let me check. Okay. Concurrent viewers is still 0. So that's pretty good. Uh Views is still 0 as well. So there's no one in here. It's just me. My ass is just talking out loud right now. Which is okay, because the VOD will be saved. But the thing about well, what the hell was I saying? Right. So if you don't have any expenses, life can be good. But what we all know is that being around this fucking place and working and driving and just doing stuff costs a lot of money, right? And if you add in the next step in life, like the biggest step, which is starting your own family, that $50,000 will easily turn into flat broke or check to check or negative, right? This is where you're spending more than you're earning on a year-to-year basis, and you're slowly just like accumulating more and more debt, maybe on credit cards or whatever it is, and life is tough. So this is a good segue into one of the first, and I don't even know if this is the biggest issue. It probably is up there in the United States, which is our incomes. A lot of people, wealthy people, will say exactly what I just did, which is, if you look globally, the US is doing great, your dollars go far. And the issue that I have with that is that you can't compare apples to oranges, right? You can't compare, we need to, let's all be mature here, right? And let's acknowledge that over history, the United States has been very fortunate to have the people, have the manpower, have the grit, and have the ability to become the country that we are, right? Very fortunate, and we can't forget about that. A lot of people suffered and died and worked hard for us to have what we have now, and we should all be continuing to work hard to maintain that, right? So I want to compare. I feel better about comparing the United States in our own ecosystem, right? Comparing US to US versus US to China. There's certain things that we can compare those two on, but as far as income goes, I don't like that when people say, "Oh, well, your dollars are still, strong when compared to another country," because that's just not a fair comparison. We want our people here living here. We want our dollars to go far here as well. And I feel like that's earned. Um, considering where the United States is and how far the United States has come, since 1776, basically. So let me get a drink. Um, Now the thing that we can do about this, there's a few different ways that um people talk about this, right? I think is there's one side that says, "Oh, just like tax the rich." And although there's an extent of this that I completely agree with, um taxing them, that money's not going to go into your pocket, right? Now, some people might argue that, well, if you tax that group more and institutions more and whatever, um, we won't be taxed as much on our pay on our W-2, right? So in that sense, the more money will be put into our pocket. Um, to be honest, and like I said, a lot of this whole stream and many streams out there, almost every single stream out there is just spitballing, throwing spaghetti on the wall or some throwing shit on the wall and seeing what sticks. Throwing shit out there. But I don't believe even if we taxed the billionaires of of the United States that it would make too big of a difference in our normal pay. There's just too many of us, right? There's too many normal people for that to happen. I do think that putting ensuring that this is a tough question. I feel like I shouldn't have even started talking about income because it's such a difficult subject to come up with a solution for. The things that I can, the talking points that come to mind are, well, we just need to make sure that the minimum wage and so on keeps up with inflation, as other things have, in the United States, in the economy, I should say. And if that were the case, I think minimum wage would be somewhere in the 20s right now, $20 an hour type of deal, and which is crazy to think about. Could you imagine like working at McDonald's, for example, $25 an hour? I mean, seriously, $25 an hour times 40 hours, 4 grand. That's 4 grand. Shit, man, that's really good money. That's 4 grand a month. 4,000 times 12, 50,000. 50 grand to be at Mickey D's. If you live at home, no expenses. Damn, that is a fucking chill life. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. I know that doesn't seem like much. Like many people will kind of scoff at anything under, 80, $90,000 a year, which at a point is fair when you have like a house and a family. Like I'm I'm with you there. But shit, if you think about it, and if your parents were like responsible and they paid off their house early and it's a bigger house, maybe it's a 5 6 bedroom and it's got square footage, and you're on one side of the house, or you don't mind living close to them, you guys are respect each other and so on, and you get your free time, they get theirs, and you don't really have a car payment either because, or you don't have rent because you're at home, and you don't have a car payment because your parents were responsible with money too, and they took care of their car and they just gave you their car that they've been using and taking care of, so it's going to run for another 10 15 years, putting 10,000 miles a year type of deal. That 48 grand. And granted, that's not take home, right? Depending on what state you're in, right? Your taxes are going to be, they'll knock it down a decent chunk. Um, but let's call it 40,000 as an easy number. If you don't have expenses, man, holy shit, you're going to be a millionaire very quickly working at fucking Mickey D's. That's crazy. Holy shit. Wow. And this is what I'm saying, right? Where when you put it into perspective like that, that money will go a far way. But the issue is that the cost to just fucking be around here and the work and to have rent and to contribute to food vendors and go out to eat occasionally and like do those things, do very normal things, are that's what kills people. You know, for me right now, one of the issues that I it's not an issue. Well, it's an issue. It's irritating, but it's also an issue. Is I love food, right? I love cooking. I cook 95% of my meals. Probably even more if I'm being honest with you. I love cooking. I love baking. I love um baking a loaf of Italian bread, having it throughout the week, having soup with it. I'll make dessert bread. I'll make, I love cooking. And what I've noticed is that groceries are significantly more expensive than they used to be. And when I say used to be, I don't mean like in the 80s or some shit. I'm literally saying like 2 years ago. where I try to budget myself to $100 a week for just myself. It's only me here, no dog, no dog food, like none of that, just me. And even then, and that's not going out, right? So it's 100 for all food, including going out food. And I find myself like having to be very creative in order to meet that budget. So I start to think, oh shit, what happens with shit, I wonder if I could go. Does TikTok have live? Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
But I canceled June yesterday.
Wow, there is live.
Canceled it, yeah. I canceled it. No, I canceled it. It was for the week.
Interesting.
It was for the week.
This is why the show is the funniest show on TikTok, you know, because
I don't know why.
dude, you're playing games. This is reverse psychology. Don't do that.
Like,
I deal with.
You know what? I'll let you stay. I'll let you stay, buddy. I did cancel. But go ahead. I did tell you though, bro. Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
I'm Tadla, 36 years old, no kids, dating range 29 to 40
I
max.
want to go live.
I'm 6'2".
6'2". All right. 6'2" in Paris. In
I
Paris.
live in Paris. You guys could come see me. Don't worry. I'll come see you.
Can I add? You know what? I'm not gonna.
I got you. All right. I told you that. All right, buddy.
Eventually,
the chat is saying.
Every fucking platform that you guys
She love Rich. What up, buddy?
Literally every platform. I'm gonna be streaming to CNN, Fox News. I know they're enemies, but I'll be streaming on both. But sorry, I'm off topic right now. But what I was saying was, you know, at the end of the day, it's very expensive to be around, and that money, you know, and many people don't want to be at fucking home forever, right? It's fine throughout college, through the summers, and through high school, obviously. But to a certain point.
Now let's do 25 to 45. We don't let 21.
You'll get to the point where
we don't let 21-year-olds on here.
You need your privacy. You know, you need to be able to be yourself and kind of like do things on your own.
Yeah, say that.
Maybe some people, you know, don't mind. Like just, I don't know. It depends.
I got you. All right, here we go.
But
Quay to God, what's up, buddy?
Mortgage in my case right now.
I'm 30. I'm a DA.
Probably be
5'11". Got the 8-year-old.
Wait, hold on. You got to get your phone. You're in front of a fan or something?
I'd be probably able to.
Oh, yeah, he in front of that fan. That's one of the fans that be at the basketball games. That shit.
But I'm 30. I'm 5'11". I got a daughter.
You know, obviously, because
how tall? You say you 5'11", you 30. How many? Do you have any kids?
In 2026,
yeah, a daughter.
How old is your daughter?
On a screen,
yeah.
matter, you know.
8?
No, I don't got no Galaxy. She 8.
So when
you've been on here before.
Going on my investment
portfolio. Oh, they're gonna tell you it's in the Galaxy. All right, yeah, bro. They're gonna tell you this in. I know, bro. Or you can tell. You can ask them to send it for you.
You gonna send me a Galaxy?
350,000.
Did I do the little heart jank?
You know. And this is the issue is that this is an illusion.
Somebody said nope.
Is something
they said
brokey.
They said right, what? They said fuck no. They said you got chest hair, sir. They said
so it's
hell no. The fuck? They said
I know you part chat.
They said no. They said Booker T, dude, get your ass up out of here. They said they said we couldn't even hear Rich. Why are you talking? They said nope. They said get rich about it. Yep. They said go find a job. They said matter of fact, they said go get some real walls. They said your background. Yeah, they said you ain't got a job. They said you said it look like they said it look like you where Chantel should be in prison. They said you look like Pastor Troy. They said Malik, stop. He can see you. Oh, okay, my bad. All right.
Hold on. He said Chantel like Pastor Troy.
I
ain't gonna lie.
I'm going to
Hold on, wait,
get
Chante. Let me mute you. Hold on. We dealing. All
on
right, Brody. All right, bet. All right, bro. They gotta get you up out of here. All right, Quay.
That's my
Appreciate
style,
it.
you know, get in.
All right, Chante, they was just joking, bro. They didn't know. Hey, they know you, bro. They know you can take a joke. They know you can take a joke, Chante. You ain't gotta. Hey, you.
I take a joke. You right, bro. I take a joke. You right. You right, brother.
You ain't gotta mute. You ain't gotta mute.
You right, bro.
Alright.
You right, bro. You right. I'm be quiet.
I got you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Chef. What up, bro? Can you cam up?
This is the perfect reason why I should be a just chatting stream.
Maz, do I have any song requests? Maz, do I have any? Are we number 15 in the world? W to chat. W to the chat. Chat, can we get to the top 10? Hey, let's get the top 10, chat. Matter of fact, let's get number 1. Why not? Appreciate you, chat. Maz, if I have a song request, please DM me.
Weird.
All right, what up, Chef?
So,
yeah, what's up?
We're about half an hour in, and we've been able to kind of discuss
introduce yourself,
the first
bro.
issue. Some of the good things in the United States.
I'm Chef King. I'm from the Virgin Islands.
With his income, and
private chef.
The solution for this is probably
I stay
the
Florida.
most difficult out of all of the issues, I think. Personally,
I'm currently in Georgia right now working. But yeah.
This is really tough.
How old are you?
31.
How tall are you?
Yeah, this is really tough to be
5'9"
with you guys.
5'9".
Because you know.
Do you have any children?
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
And what's your dating range?
This is actually really.
I say.
It says so. I'm live.
I don't know, like.
Oh, interesting.
30 to 40.
Twitch. Okay.
All right, 30 or 40.
When people say, you know, you gotta pay people more.
Hey, she love Rich.
That.
Hey, the chat didn't hear you, so I'm gonna say it. Let me know if I got everything correct. She love Rich is 28. He's
like.
Yes, he's 5'9".
I don't know.
No kid.
He
wants somebody 25 to 45.
Through, like investments more than it is through saving. And the reason people
Hey, can you fix your Wi-Fi, bro? I don't know why you freezing now.
Because of inflation, you're likely losing money, right?
You lagging, bro. Hey, come on, you my number one.
Are the way they are, right? You just have to. Like,
you my number one, gang.
For a second, you know, investing.
You look like Dean the Great from this angle.
S&P 500, for example, you'll see returns of.
All right, Chad. I'm gonna drop him, Chad. Hey, request back up, bro.
You know, 12% maybe on a good.
Appreciate you, A-Tay for the Galaxy. Thank you, Ma. Damn, bro, it's damn. All right.
The entire market.
I have a song request. Oh no! Oh, that little mic. How you request a song? Out of 11 out of 50. Is at the top. Is at the top. My mom's gonna DM me. But
Facebook.
Shout out to Godson. I remember Godson requested this a while back.
Netflix.
It's called The Locks. Money all for the love. Ladies, request up. Let's give Shantae what he want.
Problem. Who, what, when, and how you gon' solve them? Automatic or revolve? Chaotic double lesson.
This is the funniest show on TikTok.
No matter where you go, I'ma spot you. No matter how many people you put me in front of, I'ma rock you. And if you try to be hard top, I'ma drop you. I got to.
Make more.
What up, Dodger?
It just makes sense because. With inflation, if a company makes $100,000 and in 2025 and in 2026 they make another $100,000, they
hold on. Hey, I got a DM. Hey, McCall Dorsey, we love your music too. She said I only love Godson songs. We love McCall Dorsey's songs as well.
95,000.
All right.
So they technically
just Godson just has a playlist.
And this is
Malik, they be up here playing. I know they ain't playing.
Oh, Malik, hold on. I was requesting for Rich. He gone.
These
I'm about to add him right now. Hold on, stay right there.
Stock price to go up.
Rich, hold on, you right here. Wait, why you cancel, Rich?
Like everything.
Why you cancel?
Literally every single thing you can.
Bro, hold on, let me see. Hey, do it again, Rich. man. Hey, look, I don't know. He just hold on.
I'll come back when he come back.
Come back. All right, I'm gonna find out. All right, thank you. Rich, why you drop, bro?
Cause I throw off the shit that I absorb. You just another so-and-so trying to flow, going broke. I'm trying to buy property, set it up and throw coke. Niggas making the movie, so I came to edit. Wiping everybody out right before.
Request up, Rich. We almost at 2 million. We number 15 in the world, bro. We number 15 in the world, bro. Nobody, hey, we are reaching unprecedented numbers.
Look at him and see they buck. I'm 22 with 10 in, so there that go. You hear that flow? It drove the underground wacko. Ever since 12, I've been spitting like tobacco. Relax though, pop the
bro. Somebody said I'll go.